This is Kitzur Yomi as we continue the halachos in Siman Mem Dalid. We're up to Sif Yud Dalid. Now Siman Mem Dalid started with Mayim Achreinim, took us into Berachas HaMazayin. We just finished what happens when you forget Retzei Yaaleh VYavo. We pick it up from that detail in Sif Yud Dalid. Says the Kitzur Ta'al Rosh Chodesh Yaaleh VYavo. On Rosh Chodesh you do not see Yaaleh VYavo. Oimer, bracha Hashem Elokeinu Malchus Shenas and Rosh Chodesh Lam Yisrael Zikaron, but ve'enoi chayseim, you don't end it with a bracha. In chalik b'zeh bein Yom ubein Layla, and as we'll see, this is because Rosh Chodesh the chiv of Seuda is that much less. And again, let's remind ourselves this is only when you remember right after the bracha in Bnei Yerushalayim. Continues the Kitzur, b'chol hamaydim lami Yaaleh VYavo v'ran chol hamayid. Then, Yomi Rosh Chodesh Elokeinu Melech Olam, Asher Nasa Ma'od Elam Yisrael, L'sas and L'simcha. Es Yom Chag. Excuse me. Es Yom Chag Ploni Hazeh. Baruch Atah Hashem Mekadosh Yisrael V'Azmanim. Rosh Hashanah. Oimer bracha Hashem Elokeinu Melech Olam. Asher Nasa Yom Tov L'Yisrael Yom Zikaron L'Zo. Baruch Atah Hashem Mekadosh Yisrael Yom Zikaron. V'im Lo Niskar. Alach Sheischa Bracha Shalach Reo. Einoi Chayzer. On Rosh Hashanah, on Chol Hamoed, if you don't remember until you started the next bracha, you do not repeat. Rosh Chodesh Chaliyos b'Shabbos. Now, what happens when the two coincide with each other? Rosh Chodesh and Shabbos is Shachach Retzei Yaaleh VYavo even Iskar v'Omer. If you become, realize right away. What do you say? Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Olam. Asher Nasan Koilal Gam Rosh Chodesh Bein B'Pschi Bein B'Chasim Avayim Rosh Hashanah Shabbos L'Menucha Yisrael Le'Amo Yisrael Ba'av Le'Su B'Ritz Rosh Chodesh L'Zikaron Baruch Atah Hashem Kadosh Shabbos Yisrael V'Rosh Chodeshim. And the Chiddush articulates the Kitzur, even though Afal Pishav Rosh Chodesh Levad Einoi Chayseim, with we just learned a moment ago, you would not have finished with a bracha. Hacha Kivshu Chayseim B'Shel Shabbos Masker Gam Rosh Chodesh. This is a cloud that we're going to see again and again. Is that even though one entity doesn't require you to repeat, but once you're going to repeat, you're going to include the other. Now, what happens if you said Retzei Yaaleh VYavo? Why? Because you don't go back for Yaaleh VYavo. And the next words they take out. And then, look at note 60, they were omitted and they put them back in. And he explains that Shel Shabbos Amar, V'Shel Rosh Chodesh Einoi Chayzer. V'Mamar Yaaleh VYavo, V'Lomer Retzei in the flip case, V'Chayzer L'Rosh, and you go back. So now it's interesting, because you're going back for Shabbos. You already said Yaaleh VYavo. You would not have gone back for Yaaleh VYavo. But now again, says the Kitzur, no. Says the Kitzur Sifteh Zayin, moving on to Chanukah and Purim. Im Shachar Leimer Ala Nisim. V'loi Nizkar. Hashem is Hashem Aschim. Abracha. You already said Hashem Abracha to Hashem. Einoi Chayzer. Now, this is a very important halacha. We always remind during Chanukah and Purim. So you messed up, and of course, Chanukah and Purim is short, so it's common for these things to happen. And let's be honest, Al-Nisim is at the beginning of benching. So what do you do? B'toich leharachamons, during the harachamons, you say, Yoimar, harachon yaslan nisim neflois, kemoi shasav sin b'mei mizan hazeh, and then you continue, b'mei matzisyo, b'mei mordechai, etc. Hayoichal b'Shabbos v'chosh koloi, matzi Shabbos. You start Shalosh Shodes, and then the nighttime comes. So says the Kitzur. You right now say Retzei. Obviously, note 64 points out. If you did daven Ma'ariv, then you can't say Retzei because you already said it's nighttime. You start the meal by day. But now, what happens in Machal B'Erev Rosh Chodesh? You ate on Erev Rosh Chodesh. V'nim Chasudas Gam Techalel, and you ate into the Nacht. V'achal Gam B'Layla K'zayis Bas. So now, because you ate K'zayis during Rosh Chodesh, Tzarech Leima Yaleeh VYavo Chanukah Purim, and that is the halacha. Often people want to know at what point do I say Yaleeh VYavo Rosh Chodesh? This could happen every month. The point is, when you eat a kazayis during nightfall. Now, what's called nightfall? Chayra, the simple answer is whenever you would finish Shabbos, 50, 55 minutes after Shkia, etc. Now, you ate a kazayis even after nightfall. So now you have a problem, because it was Shabbos. Sunday's Rosh Chodesh. So Paskins the Kitzur. Retzei Yaaleh VYavo. However, it's a stira. You're saying Retzei that it's Shabbos. You're saying Yaleeh VYavo that it's Sunday. Okay, so what should you do? You should not eat kazayis at night. And whenever Rosh Chodesh falls on Sunday, we just had this recently. Important to remind people to finish eating before nightfall. Most say you should be machmer even already by shkia. Why? To stay out of the suffix, and then you only say ritzei. This is in the haracha mons. No, 67 points out that obviously this is not someone who's evident with the Zara, which again is going to be difficult to have to know who are the Goyim in front of you, etc. Okay, and we move over to Simin Memhei as soon as we can get it open. There we go. We go into Zimun, or we shall begin. Zimun. Says the Kitzur Siv Aleph. Shloisha shachlu yachad tzricha nevarich v'zimun u'mitzvah sheyivarchu ala kois. You have to say a zimun, and the mitzvah is to say berachas hamazon ala kois. Now, note 3, very important. So the lashon hakitzur u'mitzvah is interesting. Is it a chiyuv? Is it not a chiyuv? So the Mishnah Berurah says the minhag is to be mekel unless you have wine or chamar medina. Ramosha says, even when you have 10 people, you don't have to bench ala kais. However, if you want to perform the mitzvah minam muvchar, then you could do it. But Zakter Moshe, make sure not to do it as a binding practice. Say, V'li neder. Back to the Kitzur. If possible, you should make sure you have a kois yayin. The Hainu. If it's in an area that you don't have wine, it's expensive, or you have other drinks, then you can have those other drinks to bench on. And again, what is Chamar Medina is quite complicated. Note 5 points out for a Moshe, it has to be something that you're not served to quench your thirst, but it's served to honor a guest. It's served out of chashivas. Therefore, it says Moshe that soda that one doesn't drink for that reason, and rather drinks to quench your thirst. Therefore, it's going to be just the same thing as water and not be considered Chamar Medina. There are those who are Chaylik, but again, that is Ramosha. Back to the Kitzur Yesharim, the Berachas Hamazon afilu biyachid to a kais. Some say even biyachid you need a kais. V'naigen amedaktikin shemevarchem biyachid sholach like kais biyad. Rakunichon asal shulchan lefnei and to leave the kais in front of him. We conclude if beis moiskin is a kais b'tchila. The wine is poured first, and then you wash your hands in the mayim achreinim. And this shows us how far you want to go. That take after the netila bracha, that right after mayim achreinim you want to bench. That not even you're bothered with pouring the kais. We'll pick it up from here. B'siyata dishmaya.